Hi friends, and welcome to Book a Day for Little Learners. Today we're going to read Dr. Seuss's McElligot's Pool. I believe this is his third book that he wrote and published. Published this book originally in 1947. "Young man," laughed the farmer, "you're sort of a fool. You'll never catch fish in McElligot's pool. The pool is too small, and you might as well know it. When people have junk, here's the place that they throw it. You might catch a boot, or you might catch a can. You might catch a bottle. But listen, young man, if you sat 50 years with your worms and your wishes, you'd grow a long beard long before you'd catch fishes." "Do you ever go fishing?" Answered Marco. "It may be you're right. I've been here 3 hours without one single bite. There might be no fish, but again, well, there might. 'Cause you never can tell what goes on down below. This pool might be bigger than you or I know." What do you think? Do you think it's bigger or deeper? "This might be the pool, like I've read of in books, connected to one of those underground brooks. An underground river that starts here and flows right under the pasture. And then, well, who knows?" There's the pasture and the water goes underneath. You see the barn and the house and the cow. "It might go along down where no one can see, right here under State Highway 203. Right under the wagons, right under the toes of Mrs. Umbroso, who's hanging out clothes. It might keep on flowing, perhaps, who can tell? Right under the people of Sneeden's Hotel. Right under the grass where they're playing croquet. Then under the mountains and far, far away." That says Ocean City is 37 miles. "There might be a river, mightn't it be, connecting McElligot's pool with the sea? Then maybe some fish might be swimming toward me. If such a thing could be, they certainly would be." Dr. Seuss has very rhythmic language, doesn't he? "Some very smart fellow might point out the way to the place where I'm fishing. And that's why I say if I wait long enough, if I'm patient and cool, who knows what I'll catch in McElligot's pool. I might catch a thin fish. I might catch a stout fish. I might catch a short fish. Or a long, drawn-out fish. Any kind, any shape, any color or size. I might catch some fish that would open your eyes. I won't be surprised if a dogfish appears, complete with a collar and long floppy ears, woofing along, and perhaps he might chase a whole lot of catfish right straight out of this place." That is not what a catfish looks like, friends. "I might catch a fish with a pinwheel-like tail. I might catch a fish who has fins like a sail. I might catch some young fish, some high-jumping friskers. I might catch an old one with long, flowing whiskers. I might catch a fish with a long, curly nose. I might catch a fish like a rooster that crows. Cock-a-doodle-doo. I might catch a fish with a checkerboard belly, or even a fish made of strawberry jelly." I think he means a jellyfish, doesn't he, friends? "I might catch a seahorse. Now mightn't I? Now? I might catch a fish who is partly a cow. Some fish from the tropics, all sunburned and hot, might decide to swim up. Well, they might they not? Racing up north for a chance to get cool, full steam ahead for McElligot's pool." And it says McElligot's pool, 1,523 miles. Some Eskimo fish from beyond Hudson Bay might decide to swim down, might be headed this way. It's a pretty long trip, but they might, and they may. This says McElligot's pool, 4,227 miles. Now they're even further away, aren't they? I might catch an eel. Well, I might, it depends. With a lot of strange bends, and oddly enough, with a head on both ends. Weird. One doesn't catch this kind of fish as a rule, but the chances are fine in McElligot's pool. I might catch a fish with a terrible grouch, or an Australian fish with a kangaroo's pouch. Who wants to catch small ones like mackerel or trout? Say, I'll catch a sawfish with such a long snout that he needs an assistant to help him out about. If I wait long enough, if I'm patient enough and cool, who knows what I'll catch in McElligot's pool? Some roughneck old lobster, all gristle and muscle, might grab at my bait. Then would I have a tussle? To land one so tough it might take 2 or 3 hours, but the next might be easy. That lobster could pinch him. The kind that likes flowers. Ooh, isn't she fancy and pretty, this fish? I might catch some sort of a fast-moving bloke who zips through the waves with an overarm stroke. I might, and I may, and that's really no joke. A fish even faster, a fish, if you please, who slides down the slides of strange islands on skis. Crazy. He might ski on over and pay me a visit. That's not impossible, really. Now, is it? I don't think that's very likely, friends. Some circus fish from an acrobat school, might stage a big show in McElligot's pool. Or I might catch a fish from a stranger place yet, from the world's highest river in far-off Tibet, where the falls are so steep that it's dangerous to ride 'em, so the fish put up chutes and they float down beside 'em. From the world's deepest ocean, from way down below, from down in the mud where the deep divers go, from down in the mire and the muck and the murk, I might catch some fish who are all going glurk. Whales! I'll catch whales! Yes, a whole herd of whales, all spouting their spouts and all thrashing their tails. I'll catch 50 whales and then I'll stop for the day, 'cause there's nothing that's bigger than whales, so they say. Still, of course, it might be that there is something bigger, some sort of a kind of a thingamajigger. A fish that's so big, if you know what I mean, that he makes a whale look like a tiny sardine. The whale is the largest mammal. Oh, the sea is so full of a number of fish. If a fellow is patient, he might get his wish. And that's why I think that I'm not such a fool when I sit here and fish at McElligot's pool. Friends, this story was about this little boy and this farmer, and the little boy is fishing in this small McElligot's pool. So it's not a swimming pool, but it's a little stream that there's a small area of it that pools, the water pools there. So you aren't likely to find fish there because it tends to be relatively stagnant water. It doesn't move a whole lot. And so the farmer says to the boy, you're not going to catch anything there. And then the rest of the story is the boy's fantastic imagination about all the different things that he might catch if he's just patient enough. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this story, Dr. Seuss's McElligot's Pool. I hope it strikes your fancy and it makes you think about all the different wonderful things you might see. I hope you join me tomorrow for another Dr. Seuss story. And until then,